Solstice Wildheart greeted her first coastal dawn on 16 April 1998 in a driftwood cabin stilted above the fog-slicked tide flats of Tofino, British Columbia. Outside, gulls quarreled over bullkelp knots, while her mother, a nomad folk blues guitarist who tucks pressed honeysuckle petals between spare strings, finger-picked a lull riff so warm the porch raccoons fell asleep. Her father, a speeder kayak builder who sketches cloud wolves on sawdust-specked order slips, leaned close enough for their noses to graze and vowed his newborn that tides, typhoons, and tangled opinions would always shift for any spirit who fills her outline and never folds smaller. Curves wander the Wildheart bloodline the way salmon spiral upriver, so nobody blinked when baby Solstice split a second flannel wrap before the kettle clicked. Grandma Myrtle slid a carpenter's needle through each strained stitch, patted the gaps with quilt triangles cut from a retired spinnaker, then laughed. That extra fabric costs pocket coins while teaching a child to shrink might cost her whole constellations of tomorrow. Congress corridors reeked of pencil grindings, smoked salmon crumbs, and salt steam squeezing through warped sash windows. Solstice stretched ahead above her classmates, eclipsing the projector beam whenever she diagrammed predicate adjectives across the pull-down map. One mud-slick recessed two boys caromed around her chanting crab barge. Every hop her rain boots planted inside the chalk squares that twilight, she prowled the tie line scavenging soda caps, polished satin by surf tumble, threaded them onto fishing leader, stitched the jangle spine down her storm blue parka, and glided into class at first light, scattering prism flecks across chalk dust ceiling tiles. A visiting literacy coach captured 8 shaky seconds on a battered flip phone, posted the shimmer to a newborn video nook, and by lunch, 15,000 strangers applauded the girl who spun teasing into beacon glow. That night, Solstice printed one sentence in violet ink along her math sheet margin. Clouds crowd only until you flash them bright enough to part. Weekends belonged to Will Song-Kwe, where her mother's sly riffs mingled with the pop of crab pots, espresso hiss, and surface-shaking foam from neoprene hoods. Off-the-rack jeans stalled halfway up Solstice's thighs, so she traded tip jar loonies for sun-bleached net, unraveled it into rope, crocheted high-rise culottes, misted sea otter silhouettes and squid ink, then posed at tangerine sunset against cedar pylons, while her cousin snapped grainy frames. She loaded each shot into a fledgling diary named Tide Lantern, the very week a photo story app flickered across patchy coastal towers. Captions bounced between Yucha-unal sayings and candid English truths, such as curves anchor storms steadier than breakwaters. Before her 16th birthday, 52,000 unseen friends double-tapped every ember gold frame, proof that screens in Far City's hush cafeteria whispers louder than any hall monitor whistle. A coastal energy scholarship tugged her south to Oregon State. Daylight dissolved in turbine labs. Nights belonged to a 24-hour Yuri truck, glowing neon jade beside redwood trunks. Between bee horseradish dumplings, she filmed 90-second reels, folding parchment into foxglove barrettes while decoding dart rotation with a voice half ocean hush, half lecture spark. On upload, layered harbor seal chirps over a pocket synth groove while she chain-stitched reflective anchor cord into thrift denim. 40 hours later, the clip skimmed past 1 million views. Cascadia-style pages crowned her the pierogi couturiere, yet every sponsor mail froze at size 16. Solstice funneled each pitch into a folder labeled shrinking nets, wiped dill creme from her cuff, and spooned more cabbage filling. Equinox Storm Surge delivered an email from Columbia Sportswear, inviting her to channel a salt spray shell capsule dubbed Drift Pulse. She answered with 3 basalt solid terms, patterns scaling to 60-inch hips, half the crew hire from community college fashion grads, and 10% of net profit streaming into kelp forest rewilding. Columbia signed before sunrise bronzed the lab's skylights. The chute unfurled at dawn on Black Sand Stretch, where cormorants scribbled charcoal arcs above pewter rollers. Solstice guided curvy paddleboarders through glass sets, while a drone traced silver infinity overhead. When the lookbook landed, every extended size shell vanished within 41 hours across 26 nations. Tide Lantern vaulted beyond 700,000 followers, still scented with garlic butter. She ducked behind flour sacks, balanced her phone on a syrup keg, and live-streamed tear-bright thanks beneath buzzing fluorescent. A quick glimpse off number 1. If this voyage has already pushed a tide against your ribcage, tap that subscribe button right now. One featherlight touch secures your proud seat so next week's swell rolls into your feed before algorithms decide who else gets aboard. Spotlight shimmer lured rumor crows. A gossip vlog swore Solstice wore steel corsets beneath the Columbia shells. Pre-dawn, she paddled a cedar board past kelp ribbons, stood unbowed in sports bra and wool shorts, dusted each curve with crushed fireweed bloom, and whispered a chord progression so low the tide paused to listen. 10 million viewers reposted the jam tag fireweed proof, brushing magenta pollen along their own lines until gossip drifted seaward. Pierogi wages, interlaced with capsule royalties and fermented into Wildheart glow. A whipped custard folding spruce tip butter, black raspberry oil, and mica sparks that flare pearl under phone light. 19,000 tins cooled on her father's planer bench, lids tied with braided crab pot cord, each tag stamped, moisturize your horizon. Stock drained in 83 minutes, raising $197,000. 20% launched Beacon grants, delivering industrial sergers and hydrophone kits to plus-size teens in shoreline schools from Sitka to Santa Cruz. 7 months later, 36 grant recipients staged a floating fashion and whale song gala on a retro tug wreathed in LED lichen. Stream live to breakfast tables from Budapest to Brisbane. Thatcher Safer Save Fashion Week meant to new war floor when a rogue fan slashed her emerald mesh gown from rib to knee 90 seconds before showtime. Souls ripped neon tie line from a lighting truss, laced the tear-like boot hooks, and strode the catwalk as if the splice had lived in every sketch. Camera shutters cracked like drift logs. Vogue Pacific christened the moment Rope Cadence. Another million lantern Voyager surfaced before after-party vinyl spun its first baseline. Chaos tried again when a dismissed handler leaked trick-edited emails, hinting she demanded razor clam sliders and chauffeured hovercraft for her rescue sea otter Comet. She posted the full chain: refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption tablets for deaf stylists, then wired that month's affiliate flow $137,000 into biodegradable crab trap pilots off Point Arena. Bands echoed her peer mantra. Receipts shine brighter than rumor grit, until whispers sank like cool stone. That mid-summertime lantern shimmered across 6.8 million Instagram hearts, 3.3 million real Voyagers, and 2 million Steadfast channel subscribers. Engagement nuzzled 10%, forcing brand slideshows back to blank templates. Cartier invited her to headline a Topaz Surge film, Inside Cape Lookout Century Lens. She agreed once therapy stipends for kelp harvest divers were underwritten. The finish reel, her wrists scattering amber shards across iron ribs, became Cartier's most saved posts that quarter. Heel/family steadies her keel. Twice a month she streams in steam. Mom glides celestial chords beside a propane skillet. Dad recites cloud haiku. And Solstice flips thrift denim under fairy bulbs. One cast crested 9 million views when Comet waddled through powdered sugar and sneezed a glitter storm on the mic. A wildlife rescue now sponsors each stream, tagging rehabilitated otters with solar beacons funded by Wildheart Glow. Glow revenue skimmed past 12 million before its second equinox. She leased a silent salmon cannery, cut skylights through corrugated tin, and hired furloughed deckhands, plus designed grads to whip custard and hand-knot lids during midday stretch dance breaks to synth violin remixes. Efficiency consultants begged for heat shrink. She repeated her mother's motto: fingertips keep legends long after robots forget, and rope ties remain. Her feet hums with mental health openness. Granite Bluff portraits sit beside pierogi truck selfies, captioned "Same sky, different weather." She shares breath loops recorded beneath sea caves, printable, resilient sheets in English and Cree, and sliding scale therapy links. 116,000 followers credit her shoreline honesty as their first calm harbor. Community rides glow beneath crushed shell paint. Hundreds pedaled the coastal promenade at dusk with Wildheart Glow on collarbones and LED aurora tassels on spokes. Ticket funds fatten beacon grants and install wheelchair snorkel lifts at tide pool parks. Chowder shacks ladle lake because bisque bowls lead 15% on ride nights. Solstice rides lead on a vintage cruiser with comic plush strapped up front, pausing to tighten any rider's wandering lace. She is scripting a memoir called Currents Keep Names, due in 11 languages next spring, while a doc crew films her plan to convert retired Noah brand buoys into mobile maker pods for remote island high schools. Puma's wide-to-wave lantern sneaker lands next quarter, threaded with reflective rope and cushioned by algae foam, steering 10% of revenue into beacon seedlings circling the North Pacific. Dear Drifts, call out number 2. If your subscribe badge still glints red, flip it gentle gray now. One fingertip secures your boarding pass, so the next tail moors at your notifications before the algorithm ripple shifts. When playback hushes, explore the description. Waiting there, fresh Wildheart Glow restocks, lightning lane for beacon applications, tonight strings and steam playlists in a discreet compass, an evidence-backed bundle of conversation sparks and calm confidence rituals charting the clearest path toward authentic love, plus the single most trusted approach for sparking genuine attraction in any woman you meet. Free, just one tap distant. If the Sony cap, spine, robe cadence, gown rescue, or comet's sugar sneeze sparked a grin smash that like heart, pour your brightest ripple in the comments and share this voyage with a friend whose sails hang slack. Every curve redirects currents, every scar refracts moonlight, and the Pacific bows to anyone who plants both boots on the pier and greets tomorrow unblinking. Third and quietest whisper curls through your speakers. Subscribe now, claim your rail, and meet me on the next rising tide when a new story flickers beyond the breakers and courage calls your name again.